Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 3 of Morning Tea Talk. I'm going to try to make this quick because baby girl's up and at it, and she will be yelling at me in the background of this video, and I ain't got time. Here you go, love. You don't want any? Anyway, thank you for joining me today. As you can see, the format of this video this week is different than the last couple weeks, but similar to how it used to be. I basically just wanted to share a truth with you guys that I discovered last night. I had an epiphany. I was, hey. I was on YouTube. I was watching some interviews of some people. Hello, everybody who's here. I was on YouTube. I was watching some interviews of some people. I was watching like a Lizzo interview. I think at the time I had this thought. And I just was thinking throughout watching her interview, like, yo, she's dope. It's just something about her, I don't know, her cadence, something about her that I just like. And I was thinking about making a public, hello, Ebony. I was thinking about making just a public post about it, just on Facebook, just I guess a lot of people don't know who she is, and I figured I would just say, hey, Lizzo's dope. That's simple. And then I started to think about more about who she is as an artist and as a brand and all this stuff. And then immediately I just thought about, like, what are people going to think when they see that? Are they going to think, like, oh, really? That's your taste in music? Wouldn't have thought. Or, you know, how could you support somebody who, makes music like that when you are going to church every Sunday? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just started to think really deeply into it. Here you go, love. Sorry, y'all. With a 1-year-old, it could be really loud, especially because I think she knows that I'm doing something that doesn't involve her, so she just makes a point to be real loud. So anyway, I just thought about that, and I'm just like, it was in that moment that I realized how much I really do not only care about what people think about me, but I operate according to what people are going to think. And the reason why I say that is because as soon as the thought entered my mind, I got like 3 ideas of what people might say in response. I immediately was like, I'm not going to make the post. I guess because in my mind, I was just like, I really don't feel like explaining myself. I can like her and think she's dope and like move on with my life. I don't really have to make a public post about it. And it was in that moment I told my husband, I was like, yo, I just realized that I really do be operating according to what I think people are going to think about me. And then I started to reflect on all of the decisions that I make, at least all of the decisions I've been making as of late, with everything in my personal life and especially in my public life. And I just started to think about how many times it runs across my mind before I make the decision to do whatever it is that I'm thinking about doing, how many times I've considered what somebody's going to think. And I told my husband, I was like, I don't think that that's healthy because it really does hinder you from just being the fullest version of yourself, honestly, truthfully. And what I've been on lately is just really living authentically. And the reason why that's important to me is because I have struggled a lot on a personal level with. Here you go, love. She just wants to be a part of the conversation. I'm just letting y'all know because I'm trying to give her food, her bottle. She don't want nothing. She just wants to be a part of this conversation. So try to listen past her. But I've been struggling a lot with just like my purpose in life and like feeling so out of place. Like feeling like, I don't know, there was a point in my life where I did things and I felt proud of doing those things, whether or not I had a whole bunch of support or a whole bunch of views, backing, even before YouTube, whether or not I had what seemed to be validation about what I was doing, I just felt proud of it. And still to this day, every once in a while I do something and I know that I'm in a place that I belong. For instance, I just posted a video dancing recently, but every single time that I dance, I just love to dance, regardless if anybody sees me, regardless if I'm really that good at it, because I know I have a lot of growth to do in that area, but it's always been something I love to do. I love to write songs, all of these things. I think I've said these things on past videos before, but I haven't yet figured out how to make those things into actual video content that I think people will enjoy seeing, so I really don't share that side of my life yet. And but I know how to make a really bomb hair tutorial, so I do that a lot. And even with these morning tea talks, I one of the things I truly do, like in real life, is I sit up and I have conversations, like deep conversations with friends, family, strangers. Anytime I engage in something that piques my interest, like I go in, I go deep about it, and I think it's important that we talk about everything that, you know, is affecting us mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because that is like the core foundation of who we are and who we take out into the public, and everything that we do really does affect other people. So because of my constant awareness that my being my best self, or any part of what I'm being, actually does affect my fellow brother and sister, I think I've allowed it to get to a point where it's like I think about it so much. But I was telling my husband last night, like, I don't really think it's healthy, because it does hinder us from being our full authentic selves. And I think there's a difference between caring about what people are going to think about us and caring about how true to ourselves we're being. So for instance, if I would have thought, I'm not going to post this because I truly don't want to speak on behalf of somebody who represents something that like doesn't speak authentically to who I am, or something like that. Like, I don't even want to use this actual example as an example, because Lizzo, like, I don't even know that much about her, but like, say for instance, in my downtime, every once in a while, I liked smoking weed, right? And I really don't see much of a problem with it myself, but I do think, like, on a public scale, I see that it's a gateway drug. I know people in real life who have thrown their lives away because of drugs and alcohol, and I saw that they started to do heavy drugs and alcohol after they gained addiction to smoking weed, right? Say, for instance, that was just my true thought about it. And I thought about, like, maybe I smoked some good kush and I wanted to, like, just brag about it. But then in that moment, I stopped, because I was like, you know what, Ruby, this may have been something that you could handle without it overtaking your life. But there are a lot of people out here who struggle with this. So you probably shouldn't post it just because you don't really want to be a part of the problem. That's different. Like, having that consciousness, I think, is different than not seeing anything wrong with it at all and then choosing not to post publicly about it because I just am worried about what other people are going to think. And I was explaining this to my husband here. And I was explaining this to my husband, like, I see a great big difference with that. And I really just want to operate in, you know, the second scenario where it's like, I don't mind resisting and holding back from doing certain things because I'm conscious about how those things may affect my fellow brother and sister. But I have to truly believe that those things are bad in order for me to, like, not do them. I don't want to... I'm sorry, it's really starting to bother me now. The reason I'm making this video, let me just hurry this up, is because I filmed a morning tea talk video yesterday, right? And I'm talking about mental illness, and it took forever to film. I have over an hour worth of footage to edit down. And I'm also in the process of filming a hair tutorial. And I have been really dedicating myself to... Hold on one second. Maybe if I bring you up here with me, you can just stop for 5 seconds. And I have been really dedicating myself to figuring out, like, how I can make the best use of my time, really paying attention to prioritization, and wondering, like, you know, because they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So I've been wondering, like, where's my time going? Why have I not had time to really dedicate to my music, my dancing, and all this stuff? And no matter how disciplined I am, I'm just wondering. So this last couple of weeks, I've been paying close attention to where my time is going and really trying to be on top of it. And I've been sacrificing a lot of sleep to get things done, and I always do that, you know, but lately it's really been catching up to me. I'm so tired. So I have a baby, I have a home, I have a husband, and I don't really have, you know, I still work on the weekends, and I don't really like doing hair, and then, you know, I do YouTube. YouTube is work for me, and so I really don't really have much extra time outside of that, and outside of, like, some social gatherings that come up, holidays and stuff, like, to do much else. So if I'm going to spend my extra time doing anything, I should be using that extra time developing my craft. But I haven't been, because it's hard for me to really stop with the hair tutorials, and hold on one second. It's hard for me to really stop with the hair tutorials. It's hard for me to really stop with the morning tea talks because I said I was going to do it, and I don't want people to be disappointed, like, oh, once again she's switching up, or once again, you know, we can't depend on her to stick to what she says she's going to do. She's always starting and stopping things, and I really like have a strong complex about it because I am a people person. I love people. I don't want to be a disappointment to people, and just all these things. But after realizing that last night and looking at that footage that's over an hour long to edit down, and just thinking about how that means the little bit of time I have today to do anything outside of the baby, I'm going to be spending editing that video, and then I have another video to film for a hair tutorial. I'm just like, once again, I can just see the next few days, because they're getting busy, I can see the next few days I'm not going to have any time to work on music or writing or anything, even have a free mind to be creative. So I just decided I'm not going to do it, okay? So that's why I decided to go live today, tell you guys about that. I really enjoy having the discussions that I think are important and that, you know, impact lives. But right now, maintaining that as a brand, I guess, and always being concerned about branding, maintaining that is really affecting my own life. I really have to stop. So I wanted to just make this video to give you guys a little bit of insight on where my head is at and why. But yeah, I know I just started the morning tea talks again, but the way that I have been doing it, that's just not going to work. So if I decide to keep doing this, it's literally just going to be because I decide to go live on Wednesday mornings, and it's not taking any real time from me outside of, you know, having to hear the baby scream in the background. But otherwise, I can't. I just don't have the time. I'm sorry. I love you guys, and there's so many important social issues that I really do want to discuss, but I cannot commit to this again until I figure out a way that truly is not, you know, going to affect me so negatively, in a way where I can prioritize the things that are more important in my life first, before prioritizing doing things because I don't want to disappoint people or because of what people are going to think about me. So hello to everybody who has said hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for always joining me. I hope that I can speak to you further in the future. But in the meantime, that's all I have to say. God bless you guys, and I will see you next time. I am uploading a hair tutorial on Sunday. But after that, I don't know when the next hair tutorial will be either. But I'm working. She working in the background. Don't trip. Have a good one.